Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and anyone else out there that's tuning in tonight for round 18 of the ANZCAR Cup, proudly sponsored by 24/7 Sim Services. I'm kind of sort of by myself here tonight. Only other person up here in the booth with me tonight is Mr. Matt Hunter. Good evening, Matt. How are you, mate?
Evening, Mark. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yep, no, we're doing a bit of double duty tonight. So, yeah, still Carl, our number one commentator, Carl, is still out of action with health issues. And so, yeah, wishing him a speedy recovery.
Yeah, definitely. The sooner we can get him back into the box, the better. And I don't have to rush home from work. I just seeing Abigail, our number one uh, TV watcher, was having a few problems. Abigail, I've tried to respond to you on in YouTube, but it's not letting me. It wouldn't be the same if you weren't here with us tonight. So glad you could make it for the broadcast. So, Matt, um, very different to track to last week.
Yes,
In the
indeed.
sense,
Yeah.
in the sense that we're back on the oval, and as you can see on the weather chart there, it's a fairly hot track.
Yeah, 48 degrees track temperature there and 29 degrees air temperature. So it's going to be a bit slick and greasy out there. And of course, the Lander track is well known for the very abrasive surface, so hard on tyres. So yeah, it's going to cause a lot of wear on the tyre, and then couple that with the heat, it's going to be pretty interesting.
Talking about the tyre wear, like we seen last week that there was almost no tyre wear. Do you think iRacing has finally fixed it for the ovals, and hopefully for us that they've put it right, and there is some tyre wear here tonight?
Yeah, I think the oval side of it's pretty good. I'm just not sure about the road side, and yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, it's it's pretty unusual for an oval car to not have tyre wear on a road course. But yeah, I mean, it's let the powers that be up the top. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, definitely. So here, the tyre wear would definitely be the right side tyres. That right front is going to really take a beating if guys get on it too early in the stint. Um, so going to have to watch that right front and also that right rear. They're both going to be the problem tyre tonight here.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing from the guys. Is yeah, you really got to look after that right front early on, and yeah, you got to be careful of that right rear as well. It might get a bit hot on the right rear and cause issues as well.
Yeah, definitely. Um, so we're in the round 18. That's halfway. Have we got a point score there, Matt? That we can,
Well,
maybe
we might take the points up a little bit later, and let's see if we can run
yeah,
through a grid.
yeah,
Yeah, of course it's always a bit hit and miss with this grid, unfortunately.
yeah.
We're trying to
So
work.
Barry Neal on pole, followed by Neil Pearson. That's a great front row. That's a great front row. It's going to be a very challenging one. Jason Martin and Daniel Hettenscheid. That's another tough second row. Some of these big boys have pulled out all the guns tonight. Luke Trahere, Michael Schullock on the third. Jaden Russell and Ed Foster. And Ed supporting his new paintwork. We definitely have to get some close-ups of that later on, Matt.
Will do. Godfather car paint there. Row 5
Yeah.
is Kai Turner and Wayne Burke. And row 6 sees Josh Bicklemore and Aiden Schultz. Row 7, Ryan Jones and Brad Ellison. Row 8 is Norman Clark and Brenton Hobson. Quite a way back for Brenton Hobson there. Must have had a bit of a bad qualifying lap there. Paul Jackson and Mirko Dortnat make up row 9. Row 10 is Darren Lobb and Nigel Patton. And we'll just quickly run through the remaining ones. Andrew Dyson and Christopher Finley off row 11. Gary Wellman and Justin Witcher on row 12. Ruben Phelps and Dave Douglas on row 13. Row 14, Tristan Koch and Tom Pritchard. Row 15, Matthew Raymond, Noddy Tompkins. And no one on row 16.
So, lights are out on the postcard, so we're going to get a green flag this time by. What they've really got to be careful here is when they come down in the tri-oval. If they get on it too quick, or they try and start in first gear, they're going to get a lot of wheel spin, and it's going to be game over, and for whoever that happens to.
Will be indeed, yeah.
Pace cars off, and we're green. And Barry's got a great little start there. He may go. Yes, he will hold on to that first position.
So come around there on the exit of turn 2.
Neil's been able to hold on to second on the outside.
Good run off the turn 2 there for Neil. He was able to hold off Jason Martin there. A little bit back in about 7th spot. We've got Michael Schullock going side by side with Kai Turner there in the 408. So the first 4 cars are all single file, but then yeah, from 5th and 6th onwards, we've got a bit of double file action going on there.
Yeah, there's no one. No, oh, big check up by the Skittles car. I just not sure who was in that car tonight.
Be Ryan Jones in the Skittles car tonight.
Yeah, he just.
Just looking back up the front here. Schullock's managed to get past Kai Turner there.
Sorry, mate. I was just watching a little bit of action further back with Ryan and Brad. Ryan had a big checkup, and Brad must have touched him because the radio lit up a little bit there.
Yeah, bit early to be getting into it. Don't mind me, I'm just doing some checks on some stuff. Yeah, live timing's available, so if you're watching on YouTube, if you click on that live timing link, that will open up a web page for you, and you can see all the live timing there, which those lap counts, pit stops, fastest laps. It's quite handy to have a little look at that going on in one screen and watching the broadcast screen on the other.
So what? Just looking at that, there's a couple of guys there were up over the 300 kilometre mark. So very quick pace for early in the race.
Yeah, it's just pretty good, pretty fast track. Oh, Atlanta definitely. I think they always hit 200 mile an hour.
So I know you do a bit of racing, Matt, and I do myself. I always seem to find that big magnet out behind the safety barrier in turn 3 there. Where do you as a racer think this is the hardest the hardest spot on the track to get the spot where you have to get things right?
I think turn 4 can be a little bit of a pain, and can be quite tricky if you get a little bit too low early on with the tyres. If you're trying to, especially when the tyres wear and you're trying to make a pass on a guy down low, if you go a little bit too low, it's it can get the car can sort of get a bit loose on you, and then you lose that momentum to try and get that run on the front straight.
Yeah, I've also seen guys that just get down that little bit too low, as you're saying, and just touch the grass out of 4, and that's normally ends up seeing them steering back across the track, and normally a big wreck.
Yeah, and another thing I think from this track as well, which I'm very conscious of, is when you go onto the back straight between turns 2 and 3, is try not, as the tyres wear, try not to get too close to the wall, because there's actually bumps next to the wall, and sometimes it pulls you into the wall. And you could be driving along and just foot flat on the back straight, but you can hit those bumps, it pulls you into the wall, and then fires you back across the track in front of everybody. But yeah, keep an eye on that. There's some pretty good action going on up the front there. Side by side action. 4 cars deep.
Who was that in the middle?
Neil Pearson's stuck in the middle there. We've got Jason Martin and on the inside, and is that 86? It's Wayne Burke on the outside.
Yep. I'll tell you what, it's glad this is happening early on in the race where they've still got some good grip. Because if that was later on, I wouldn't want to be Neil Pearson in that centre.
No, just be definitely a pretty tricky place to be.
A shout out to Trevor Mickelmore, they're tuning in on the YouTube channel. Mr. Steve Hoppitz, there in the YouTube. So evening, Steve.
And Lachlan in the UK, and his birthday today. I'm trying to remember when I sent him that message, happy birthday message. I think it was today. Happy birthday, Lockie.
Definitely happy birthday.
Still good side-by-side action there. Barry Neal's out front on his own there, but back behind him, it's a bit of a hornet's nest.
Well, it'd be interesting to see if Barry's been able to serve tyres here tonight. He's always been open about not being able to save tyres for later on in the stint, in the race. So it'd be interesting to see what he can do there.
Yeah, and I know he did another leg race in these cars at the same track last night, and so he's got a bit of experience with that, bringing that in as well. But he's probably, from what we're hearing, they can get about 65 laps on a tank. Ooh, there's okay. Burke gives Barry Neal a bit of the bumper there. It's interesting. So early on in the race. But so Burke's given Barry Neal a bit of the bumper there, got him loose, broke his momentum, and he's going to use it to get the way to the lead. And Barry's going to drop back all the way back to 4th place now, and still dropping.
Bit early to be doing that type of move. So obviously he thought he could do it, and he's got away with it.
I tell you what, though, you do that, and Barry loses it and wrecks the whole field up at the front. Most of the field will be pretty unhappy with that kind of moves so early in the race.
Yeah, definitely.
But got away with it and making a good run now out on the front as the 035 of Heddershite tries to catch and pass him. Just jump back a little bit here. We can see here's Barry starting to make a rally to come back. But 14 laps in and still side-by-side action there up in the front, and cars definitely all on top of each other still.
Yeah, it looks like they are that front top 10. The top 10 are starting to think about trying to make a single line there.
Yeah, they've certainly settled down at the back. To see how far back that is, sort of jumping back to about 20th spot, where the first car in that line is Dave Douglas. There's a bit of a gap between the top 19 cars and Dave in 20th. And they're all just single file there. They need to stay in single file as well and just work together with the draft so that they can sort of keep themselves in touch with that front pack.
Yeah. Well, I think once Ruben gets up onto the back of Dave Douglas there, he'll just slot up in and start to work it. Although Justin Witcher's got the better of him there and slotted up in front of him. So there's some experience there. So those guys, Paul Jackson's there. So they're just hanging on. They'll wait for the first caution and they'll come back.
Yep. And with the way they're racing in the top 10, it's highly possible. There's that car 53 paint scheme you were talking about, the Godfather paint job.
I love what's written on the front bar.
I have to.
When you get a chance, you'll have to get a screenshot. We were talking about it through the week, and I've been waiting for this car to come out, and
there we go. So we're on board with Barry here on the bumper. Actually, we'll jump on with Jason. We might be able to see it there.
The bumper you can't can't refuse.
Ah, I get it. I'm going to give you a bumper you can't refuse.
Yeah.
Nice. Sort of settling down a little bit at the top there, at the front, so that's good.
All the key runners are there, like Dyso's just back there in ninth. Aiden Schultz, he could be on for a win here. I know he likes this track, so if he can have a good night, he'll be right in the mix.
Yeah, Dyson's made big moves. He's up 12 spots since the start of this race, up to 9th spot. Yeah, he's started 21st and he's up to 9th spot, so it's a good run for Dyson so far. He'll want to keep that going.
Most definitely. Yeah, a track like Atlanta is what we can, well, wouldn't be surprised if we've seen a first-time winner here. If someone can just settle down and just have that nice long run on that first fuel to get to that fuel stop, and then save a little bit, you should be able to get away with one stop.
Yeah, I mean, you can get to, supposedly you can get to lap 65 on fuel, and that'll give you the one pit stop. But if you wanted to, two-stop strategy, you might be looking at about lap 45, lap 90, and then obviously a 30 lap run to the end. So you could be sort of playing around with that. In terms of looking at the lap times at the moment, it's almost a 2 second a lap drop off in just 20 laps. So if you do come in for that two-stop strategy, you'll be quick for the first 20 laps. But it'll be interesting to see if it sort of drops off more as the longer the run goes on. You see Jason Martin there trying to make a move on Luke Trujillo in the 43. Looks like Jason got a little bit of a wiggle out of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
I was just going to say that's given Neil a bit of a run, but Jason's held on to that low line well and really taken it to Neil.
He is, yeah. And Trujillo's obviously there. He's pretty good. Luke Trujillo's pretty good on tyres. He seems to be able to look after them on some tracks. As you see there, actually, if you saw on the bottom of the screen there, you saw Wayne Burke get a little bit of a wiggle there and go into the wall. And that's those bumps that I was talking about on the back straight, where once the tyres heat up and get a bit old, you hit those bumps and they just sometimes fire into the wall.
Yeah. The other thing that should we have a caution, the boys have started to use the restart zones, so it'd be interesting to see who can get a good start there.
Yeah, yep, of course, yeah, with restart zones coming in a few weeks ago, and the restart zone. Just trying to think what it's called. I think it's a different for every track. I always got the Geico restart zone in my head.
Yeah, it is
a Geico one.
Yeah. The only thing now, all we need is, and I know there's been a lot of talk in the Warriors, and different leagues that I race in, about stage racing. You guys are a bit hard to do it here because you don't quite have the long races.
Yeah.
Is that? I know there's some guys for it, some guys hate it, and yeah, so it's been a big talking point, and just have to wonder if eventually it'll come. iRacing will bring it in.
Yeah, we haven't had it as an admin. We haven't really had that discussion about it. I'd like to see iRacing bring it in, the possibility. And if we did stage racing, Neil's had a half spin and he saved it. Yep, Neil. That's a pretty, that's an amazing save, that one. Let's see if we can go back and find out what happened there. I'm just
That
gonna
was
see.
completely crossed up there.
Yeah, I don't know how he didn't. He did an amazing job to save that from going into the wall there, or going into the traffic. Oh, there we are.
Yeah.
So, wowza, look at that.
Oh.
Whoa. We'll just jump back on that again and we'll slow it down. We'll jump on top of you and then this way. You see it? You see he's got off the corner there and see it's got sideways there and it's come up and Jason Martin's going, oh, my bad luck's going to continue, it's going to wreck me, but Neil does an amazing job to save that. Keeps it
I'll
off
tell you,
Jason. And Barry does an amazing job checking up to avoid that as well.
yeah. That's given that what Pearson lost 4 spots and that
Yeah.
there.
Amazing. And he probably didn't even pick up an incident point for it, so amazing good job there by Neil to save that car there, because that looked like all money, like it should have been wrecked.
Yeah, definitely. So back to what. So you guys haven't actually spoken about it.
We haven't spoke about it, but my personal opinion, if we were to see stage racing come in, I wouldn't want to see cautions. I believe that stage racing should be at the end of a certain lap, you get scored and you get points for this position where you're in, and but you don't have a caution. You just keep going. You know.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's
what I'd
a
like to
different
see.
way of doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice little battle there with Aiden Schultz and Hobson. Again, coming off turn 4, Hobson just got that little bit sideways that allowed Aiden to get past, and that's also allowed Neil to get a good run up there.
Yeah, I think, I mean, as I was told by one of the drivers earlier on, that if you can heat up that right rear tyre and it'll start sliding around, so a few of the drivers might be suffering a bit from that.
Yeah, it is a very hot day out there, so typical Atlanta summer.
And the races started in the early afternoon, so about 3 o'clock. So we won't have any repeat of the issue that we had last week in the fun race.
I don't know. I thought that was pretty good.
It's an interesting thing if you're watching. See those light towers there? They don't work. They're just there for decoration. They don't actually work. So if you're doing a race, they won't come on.
Lockie's put his view up. Stage racing, a big throw up emoji.
Yeah.
So
I agree with him there. I hate how stage racing has cautions and it just ruins all strategy in the race. But yeah, that's what it is. As we see Barry Neal in the background there, trying to make a move on Foster there. He might have just got a little bit loose off the corner. And Dyson's just continuing his way to come up there. Barry's looking to come back. No, he's going to let Dyson get through. So it's Dyson up to 7th spot now. So we've still got a pretty good spread in terms of positions. The top 26 are only 26th spot is Tristan Koch, and he is only 10 seconds behind the leader. So that's pretty good after 33 laps. That's pretty close running. I think Nigel Patton has retired his car.
Yeah, it looks like Mirko's in the pit.
Mirko's in the pit.
Yeah. Just talking of those times, Matt. Daniel Hedischer, his best time was a 31.4. That was on lap 34.
Yeah.
So what are we on now?
I'm not sure what lap was his best lap, but yeah, no, I see what you mean there. Like his best lap was a 31.4, and his last lap was a 33.7. So
yeah,
it's a big drop off there. It's over 2 seconds, over 2.5 seconds. So yeah, I mean, I'm curious. I'd like to see somebody maybe in the teens, roll the dice and go for a 2-stop strategy, and if it plays out green, let's see how that goes.
Yeah. I'm just looking further down in the most of the guys out there that they're in the best laps. They're in the 31s, but you go further back down. Cole Turner last lap was a 34.5. So Michael Schullock a 34.1. You know,
Yeah.
so there's been a big drop off in the tyres.
Yeah, I think those guys have probably overheated because they were up near in the top 10 and they dropped back to 17th and 18th. So I think they've overheated their tyres and that's why we're seeing them drop now. Yeah, I was told that if you overheated your rear tyre, that right rear tyre, you would just drop 2 seconds a lap easy straight away.
Yeah, it's definitely a harsh track, and even in the excuse me, even in the Gen 6 car, it was the same. Always here.
It's a shame because they're about to. I mean, iRacing's been teasing the update to it because in the next couple of days. Oh, there goes Kyle Turner, gotten very loose off the corner. He is struggling on those tyres. He might be a good candidate to roll the dice and go for a 2-stop strategy. But yeah, so the real life Atlanta track's actually been repaved. They took the surface up and they resurfaced it. And yeah, it will be coming to iRacing, and I believe they've been teasing it for the last few days. So we're expecting it any day now for the new surface. So this is probably the last race on this old surface for us.
Yeah. So was it Atlanta that did that put down that special asphalt that where the water soaks through it and runs?
Yeah, that's right. Yep, I'm pretty sure it was
Yeah.
Atlanta. Yeah.
So for those that don't know, what they've done is they've actually put a very grainy asphalt down, and they've got drainage all through underneath the circuit, so it will get rid of the water a lot quicker and run down to the infield drainage system. So should there be any rain, they can get back to racing a lot quicker. So I think it's the first track that's used that type of asphalt mat.
Yeah, it is. Yep, I remember watching a video about it. Just the way it's said, it's supposed to help drain that water away from the track quicker. So that, yeah, like you say, if there's rain and they need to get the track ready to get back racing, they can do it quicker. It should dry out quicker. But the downside is it doesn't have that tyre wear. So essentially, a land has become like just a 1.5 super speedway, really, like a Talladega or a Daytona, where the guys are just flat. And just, yeah, so if that's what you like, that's what you like, I guess.
Yeah, I like a little bit of a challenge. But I also heard, and from a pretty good source, that you can actually run these cars on that track in the rain. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, be interesting to see if they can. Just what got the camera focused on here, the battle for first. 035 Hampshire and the 28 of Jaden Russell. It looks like Jaden Russell's going to get that pass made. Hampshire's not going to put up too much of a fight for it.
No, you've seen there coming through the try over there. Daniel just jumped up onto the high line and really didn't fight for that P1. I think he'll look further on in the race.
Yeah, we do have someone who has pitted. Tom Pritchard has pitted. He pitted 8 laps ago. So what's that? 34? So yeah. So I'm not sure if that's a planned pit stop or not, but yeah. And in terms of lap time, he's running 31.5s, and the leaders are running 33.9 that last lap. So I'm excited. Want to see someone do well for 2-stop strategy. So we're just having a little bit of a run through the field. So we've got Jaden in first, Daniel in second. Luke Trahier's having a good strong run. He's in a third spot. But Luke is pretty good at looking after the tyres.
Dave Douglas is in the pits.
Dave Douglas is in. I'll jump to Dave. Yeah. Yep. So this is right around that 45 lap mark, which I reckon. Oh, that's not going to help. He's missed his pits there. He
Oh,
might even be too far right or too far left. Yeah. Oh, it's a nightmare. So he's not only did he slide for his pits, but he's ended up too far to the left. Oh, he's having to come back again. Yeah, he's not happy now. He just lit those red tyres up. Let's see if we can see that time. Yeah, the
I think he
stationary
may.
time.
When he came in, he was hard on the brakes, so I wouldn't be surprised if he may even end up with a drive-through for speeding in pit lane there.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy, that's for sure. But yeah, it looked like it was that Pearson there as well. There's a red car in pit lane.
Yep.
Yep, just catching the end of it there. Neil Pearson. Oh, there
Yeah.
looks like a whole bunch of them coming in.
Yep. I've
So-
just missed. It could be Tristan Koch, and I'm not sure who else followed him in.
Ed Foster's in, the 86 of Burke's in. So yeah, it looks like these guys are all going to go for. Oh, as Foster overshoots his pits as well. So it's really catching people out. So it looks like they're all going to go for this two-stop strategy.
Berkey's out.
So Foster's still stationary there. It's a long pit stop for Foster there. I'm not sure what's going on there, but he has been stationary for a long time. So there's obviously been some kind of issue there. He might have been speeding on the entry into pit road, and he might be serving a penalty, but that's going to cost him dearly. He's still sitting there. He's been stationary for 48 seconds so far. Let's see if it goes to about a minute before he takes off. Has to be a pit road infringement.
Ruben Phelps has been in and serviced.
Yeah.
He's on the way.
So I think Foster's picked up like about probably maybe a 45-second-ish penalty there. Probably speeding on an entry into pit road. He may have even hit the cone or something. The commitment cone. And there's the speed difference. So you see Dave Douglas unlap himself by one lap. Get one of his laps back there by passing Jaden Russell.
The guys that haven't been down pit lane would have to be thinking about it now if they can see how quick guys are catching them.
Yeah. It's interesting. We've only seen like maybe 2 or 3 drivers actually do a clean pit stop though. Burke, Pearson, and Kai Turner, and Pritchard. But he pitted early, so I'm not sure about that one. But and Ruben as well. But Dave ran into pit troubles there.
Daniel's in. Christopher Finlay's been in and service.
Yeah. So we are seeing a whole bunch of cars coming now.
Aiden Schultz is in.
Daniel's pit stop. Is Neil and Barry, is it? Just watching them all filter out again. You can already see the big difference, the undercut from Pearson and Burke, because yeah, the header shot is at least about 6 seconds behind Burke already, and he's still getting up to speed. So Mark, the new surface at Atlanta is called permeable pavement.
Yeah, okay.
A comment from Lipper Messiah in the chat. It's permeable pavement. Oh, we might have missed something. We might have. Abigail's pointed out that Hobson is 9 laps down. So, what has happened to Hobson?
I did see a lot of smoke there a couple of laps ago, but
Dude, yeah, I see an incident. I'm going to try and do a replay for it. Try and see what happened here. Oh, so he's kind of just got
Oh, that's got to hurt.
And with the new damage model, I would say that's done quite a bit of damage to the right front. Just try and jump in there again. I think he's just come off the corner. It's not been happy with the tyres. Through the tri-oval. So it's just there, it's got lost it through the tri-oval. And he's been trying to gather it up. Yeah. It's a good hit into the wall there. I think I can see that right front wobbling about. So, yeah.
Yep, that's done.
Yep, he will be in the pits for a while, I would say. I'd say has he parked up? I think he might have. He looks to be parked up, so.
Oh, there's a big gaggle.
Yeah. I just picked a random car of Josh Micklemore and to jump back onto, and there's a whole bunch of cars, and I think it's quite a bit of lap traffic as well. So, wow, look at the speed difference of those fresh tyres.
Oh, yeah,
it's huge. So the guys that are still out there on old tyres will have to be really careful and aware that these guys on fresh tyres will be flying through, and the guys on the fresh tyres will have to be aware as well that there's guys on old tyres that may not see them coming. So far at the moment, our top 15 have all not pitted, so they look like they are perhaps committing themselves to a one-stop strategy. And Wayne Burke on the screen there is the first car that has pitted in 16th spot. And his last lap around was a 32.2 and the leader was a 33.9. Well, pretty much a 34. So about 1.8 seconds a lap difference. Just gonna have a little look through the field.
I know, there's just something about those Skittle cars.
Well, I'm pretty sure, Ryan's a big Kyle Busch fan, so I think it's a Kyle Busch inspired livery there.
I know we've got our Blast from the Past coming up in a couple of weeks, and I've already got my paint scheme picked out for the car, so be interesting to see when you guys actually get your retro round, who does what for what.
Yeah, I think we might have done one. I can't remember. There's been so much going on. It's been so busy this year. I can't really remember if we've done Darlington with the throwbacks.
Hang on, let's have a quick look. Darlington, wasn't it, that you guys do your retro?
Yeah, that's right. I just don't remember if it's Darlington 1 or Darlington 2. I think it's Darlington 2?
Oh, that's the start of the chase.
Yeah.
So that'll be the 25th of August.
You see here, Kai Turner in the white car looking to make a move.
Tom Pritchard's back in pit lane. Has he been? He's already been in, hasn't
he? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in there.
He's taken tyres.
So he might be trying to 3-stop it. He's got the tyres, so 30 laps. Maybe.
Let me just see if I can duck down and grab a quick word from him.
All right, you jump down there and I'll keep waffling on. Looks like Aiden Schultz is taking a pit stop now. Running an 18th spot there. Just having a look. He's got some more cars. Wayne Burke He's really climbing up the field now. He's up to 8th spot with those fresh tyres. So he's done 15 laps on those tyres, and all the cars around him have done 62 laps on them. And lap time, yeah, about 1.3 to 1.4 seconds a lap quicker than the leader. Just have a look at that battle behind. Gary Wellman there in the green car. Nice solid run there so far for Gary, and 9th spot.
Yeah, just jumped down there, Matt. He's just struggling with tyre wear tonight. He said he's right off the pace and he's done the right thing and just ducked in and taken tyres and just wants to stay out of the road of everyone.
Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense. Use all the tyres you can just to make through to the end. And I'm sure most of the other cars up the front will be trying to keep a set and up their sleeve just in case there's a late caution.
Yeah, definitely.
Another driver's having a bit of struggle tonight is Michael Schullock. He's in the 16th spot, still out on those old tyres, so he might be just fuel saving though. So
yeah, well, what's the, oh yeah, no, 65 laps of fuel. Yeah, you say 10. Yeah, but
so we might start seeing leaders starting to peel in and get that stop done. But Wayne Burke's made his way all the way back up to 7th spot, so he's only 8.5 seconds behind the lead at the moment.
Yeah, I just heard on the radio, Schullock, the car's all over the place, so he's definitely struggling.
Yeah. Just check the weather, see if. So I think I said it was 48 degrees track temperature at the start, so it has dropped 4 degrees.
Yeah.
Down to 44. As we see, Jason Martin is peeling into the pits there. I'm gonna be mean. I'm gonna watch Jason's pit stop because a few years ago Jason had a really bad habit of sliding for his pits, and if everybody else is sliding for the pits, it might be a bit of a worry.
Barry Neal's in also.
Yeah, so they're all sort of just clicking over the lap 65, 66, exactly halfway. Jason nails the pit stop.
Ryan missed his pit box. He skidded through. Norman pulled in nice and easy.
So with the concrete and the pit stop there, I think they're all coming in and they're all struggling to pull the car up. As we see, yeah, there's pretty much all the cars who hadn't pitted are now pitting.
Right.
We've got Russell, Micklemore, yeah, you name it, they're all in the pits. That's good. Yeah, we just watched them all coming out.
Dyson's been in and serviced.
And Luke Jahir was the race leader, but he's peeling into the pits now by the looks of it.
Yep, he's in. Gary Willman's in and serviced.
There goes Luke, having his pit stop now. It's a good pit stop. Now, I see something that's a little bit interesting on the timing information. I'm just trying to work out. Daniel Hedershite might have pitted again. He might have done a second pit stop. But the stationary time, nah, it doesn't make any sense. Stationary time of 2.1 seconds. So that would be a splash of fuel only, like a small splash. Interesting. It's not sure what's going on there. Let's have a look. Yeah, no, he's done 2 pit stops, and his last pit stop was 2 seconds. But that was 17 laps ago. So,
Well, that's the information he's getting, saying that he wouldn't make it on the fuel. So
Yeah, so
Um,
he's decided to come in and grab a splash, and he might grab another set of tyres. He'll probably pit again and grab another set of tyres pretty soon. Yeah.
I'm just wondering if anyone's going to be brave enough to just take the outside.
Yeah, that's what I wonder as well. Let's have a look and see. I think Michael Schullock might have called it a night. I think I'm not seeing any. Let's see if we can see if there's anything here on the events log. Yeah, it's just coming to the pits there. I think Michael's just decided to use it as a drop round and parked it for the night.
I'm
Oh, maybe a DC. Maybe an internet connection issue. Yeah. Yep.
dropped out due to packet loss. Unfortunate for him.
Yeah, so there we are. So Schullock's yeah, he's had an internet disconnection. So yeah, let's catch up with the front again. So Wayne Burke currently sitting in first place, but he is on a two-stop strategy. Let's have a look. Sitting in. Is that Luke Chahir coming out of the pits again? Or am I on replay? I'm on replay, I think. Yeah, that was it. My bad. I was like, why would Luke would only be pitting again if he got a penalty? So, yeah, no, okay, cool. Right, so Wayne Burke in the front there. As you see, Jason Martin's about to unlap himself. That's the purple car going past. Because Jason will be on fresh tyres. Neil Pearson is sitting in second. And Aiden Schultz, good run for Aiden so far. He's sitting up in third spot there. So hope he can keep it going. Kai Turner, great run for him as well, sitting up in fourth. Ruben Phelps in fifth.
So what? Ruben's done well. He started 25th in the grid, so
yeah,
he's up 20 spots.
20 spots, biggest move of the race so far, I believe. Barry Neal sitting in sixth. Now Barry is the first of the one-stoppers. So to give you an idea of the difference, his tyres have only done 9 laps, whereas Ruben in front of him has done 29 laps, so 20 laps different. And Barry's 2 seconds a lap faster than Ruben at the moment, so he will be catching him pretty soon. Jaden Russell sitting in 7th.
Darren Lobb and Luke Trahere are having a good battle back there.
Yeah, just on the edge of the top 10 there. So Luke is sitting in 10th in the 43 car and Darren in 11th in the 99 car. Although they just passed Christopher Finley in the yellow car for position. So Christopher is one of the one. He was one of the early stoppers. So 28 laps on his tyres.
Yeah.
Another good strong run for him as well, though.
When you come to a track like this, there's so many different ways you can run this race. You know, like the two-stop. Some, as you said, I don't think there's been many going for the three-stop.
No.
But depending on where you are, and touch wood, we haven't seen a caution yet, and if we don't see one, it's going to be interesting to come down to the end and just to see who can look after that last set of tyres the best.
Yeah, I'd really like to see someone on the two-stop strategy do really, really well. I do like to, do two-stop strategies myself, just for something different, to try and. But yeah, normally the Thunder races aren't long enough to really have a good impact. But be interesting to see if 130 laps is long enough for the two-stop strategy. See Barry Neal's just past Kai Turner. Dave Douglas is down on the apron there.
I think he's just come out of the pit again.
No,
No.
it's still only showing as one pit, so not sure. He might have had a bit of a... Yeah, I think he's had a bit of an off track, so I'm just seeing if I can find what's going on there. Oh yeah, so he's definitely gone off the track there, so the question is... So he's been coming off turn 4 and... Yeah, it just got a little bit loose, so that's getting a little bit too low on the exit of turn 4 there, and it's just unsettled the car. That's what I was telling you about earlier with turn 4. And then he's just gone for a bit of a skate through the grass.
Out doing some grass cutting.
Yeah. Yep. Just kind of got to go through the grass to get it back on, and that's that there. That's what's happened to Dave.
I think Aiden's just in the pit lane there.
Let's have a look as well. It's something... Just wondering if something happened to... Yeah, so... Showing Aiden in pit lane again, so Aiden's grabbing his second stop. So that is around about that lap 82 mark now, so he's going to be doing about 48 laps or so to the end now. So Aiden will be able to make it home from here.
For the guys that have done the 2-stop, I really hope it goes green all the way now. Because should we get a caution, it's going to null and void the 2 stops.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, and that is usually the way, unfortunately, that plays out. Is that do get cautions. That's kind of ruined the 2-stop strategy, unfortunately. But yeah, let's see how it plays out. I think Ruben Phillips is just coming out of pit lane as well.
Yeah.
He's just grabbed his next set of tyres. So yeah, so all of those guys on this 2-stop strategy, they're all going to be putting now. Around now, anyway.
I don't know how long Ed will keep that paint scheme on for. He's now down in 23rd spot, 2 laps down, so it's not going real well.
No, he's not going to be happy about that one, that's for sure. And I think Dave Douglas might have parked his car as well. Yeah, I mean, that's racing really. Getting on and off pit road and getting that done is just as important as going through corners fast.
Yeah, definitely.
You see a lot of people don't practice pit stops, and you know, sometimes it hurts them. Not saying that those guys there don't practice their pit stops, but yeah, you can just see how just a mistake on pit road just can completely ruin your night.
So Wayne's still doing pretty good times out there. He's on 40 lap tyres, and he's doing the last lap was a 33.7. So I mean to say, both him and Neil are doing still pretty reasonable times on those tyres for 40 lap tyres.
Yeah, Barry Neal in third is obviously on the 1-stopper, and he is 1 second a lap faster than them at the moment. But the other thing that's going to play out for Burke and Pearson is they're not going to be able to make it on fuel. So they shouldn't be able to. Let's have a look. What 42 laps they've done? I think as Pearson comes into pit lane. Yeah, so they weren't going to be able to make it on fuel, so you might as well split up the remaining stint and get the max out of the tyres that you can.
Yeah. Well, fastest person out there at the moment, last lap, was Kyle Turner, 31.7. And next fastest was Aiden Schultz, 32.2.
Yeah, so those guys have got fresh tyres, and yeah, they're caning it now.
Another person that's had a pretty reasonable race so far is Maddie Raymond. He started down in 29th and he's currently in 12th.
Yeah, that's a Maddie Raymond thing, isn't it, really? You don't really see much of him, but he just works his way through the field from the back to the front. Nice and slow through the night.
Just looking at Mr. Clark in the 09. He's gone backwards a couple of spots, but I mean to say, and he's lapped down, but he'll always be there about. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him up in the top 10 by the end of the race.
Yeah, yep, another good solid run for him. Yeah, he's one of the one-stoppers, so be good to see it turn out alright for him. He's about to get passed by Neil though. Neil's on fresh tyres, so yeah, big difference in speed.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you can see the speed difference there. Norman is on 25 lap tyres, and Pearson's on 3.
Yeah, it's about 2.5 seconds a lap, that last lap. So it's huge. Just have a look through the field at some closer battles. So, yeah, we've got that Maddie Raymond, Gary Wellman, Justin Witcher battle. These 3 cars here all on their own. Maddie Ray in the yellow and red car in 10th spot. Gary in the green car in 11th. And Justin Witcher in 12th in the blue, black and orange. Yeah. That's about the closest battles I think on the track at the moment. Just having a little look for our retirements so far. Nigel Padden, Mirko Dorknack, Noddy Tompkins, Brenton Hobson. I think Pritchard is sitting in the pits. I think he's parked it. Michael Schullock, the DC disconnection. And I think Dave Douglas has parked it for the night as well. And Ed Foster's having a bit of a wretched run, 2 laps down in 23rd spot there. Yeah, no cautions early on, certainly hurts as well. No chance of getting his lap back. And Daniel Hedershire has taken his 3rd pit stop.
Looks like Berkey's in the pits.
Burke's in the pits.
Yeah, definitely he's in the pits. He's dropping down very quickly.
Yeah, yep, just looking at the timing data, seeing him drop down there. So yeah, he is in the pits getting his pit stop as well. So he will have 35 laps on those tyres. He can just run as fast as he can. That means Barry Neal has taken over the lead. I'll just chuck up the top 15. Let's have a look through. The first of our 2 stoppers is Aiden Schultz in 13th spot. And he is about 1.1 seconds a lap faster than the leaders, but he is 21 seconds off the lead.
Yeah, that kind of sort of doesn't work out.
No. No, because you will imagine that he will have a bit of drop-off coming through soon. As Kai Turner goes back past to unlap himself. Comment in the chat from Lockie saying that he thinks that Burke has gone too long. Might not have enough laps left to chase down the leaders. I agree. I think he's gone too long on it as well. Yeah, I would have been a bit more even, but yeah, I guess I don't know how he's going to go in 35 laps, how hard out he can go. But at the moment, he is 28 seconds off the lead.
And he's lapping at 31.4 last lap.
So 2 seconds a lap faster than the leader on the last lap. So he's got enough laps if he can keep 2 seconds a lap faster. But the thing is, his tyres are gonna drop off a bit as well. So yeah, I probably would have evened it up a little bit more. Maybe given myself 40, 45 laps on that last set of tyres. He is certainly flying and doing a good job.
Oh, we've got a lot of smoke on the back straight here.
Oh, Ryan Jones.
Oh.
Look at that car. Oh, let's see if we can get that down and into the pits or off the track. He'll be trying to get it to pit lane, because if he stops it might trigger a caution there. I don't think he's got much choice. He's managed to tow. Yeah, cool. There is pits on this track where you can kind of like stop and it won't trigger caution, and I think he's known exactly where to do that, and he's done a really great job of doing that. But let's have a look at the replay and see what's happened there, because he has lost that front wheel completely. Whew. Jump on the chopper view. Loose off the corner. This is what happened to Pearson before, and Pearson was able to catch it and keep it, but I think Ryan's not been able to catch it enough to save it from going into the wall there. Alright. Oh, no. Garrett, he got a hit. So he did do a good job of saving it and keeping it off the wall, but unfortunately, he's been hit. Gary's come through and hit him. Yeah. So we can see here. Slow that down a bit. So he's done a really good job keeping it off the wall, much like what Neil did before. And Gary's kind of not knowing where he's going. Yeah. You can see exactly what was going through Gary's mind there. He thought that the skittle car was coming up the track more, so he was going to go low. And then you can see that Brian's managed to stop the car, and unfortunately Gary's in that no man's land, which is, yeah. Look at that green. If I hit the right button, we'll get there in a moment. I was going to say, look at the green car, but here we go. So I'll slow this down, and you look at that green car at the top of the screen there. He's thought, oh, yep, this car is coming up, I'm going to go low. And then all of a sudden he's realised the car's not coming back up, and it's too late to make a correction. So whilst it looks bad, there's not much. You can't really blame Gary for that. You can, that's, yeah. You can see exactly what he was thinking, unfortunately. And
racing incident, that one. Yeah. It's unfortunate for both of them, really.
It is, yeah. And you can see the front of Ryan's car there. It's missing that front wheel. So I imagine he will probably be done for the night with that, or it'll probably take till the end of the race for the chuck a wheel on it. Although I seem to recall a race recently where they actually chucked a wheel back on it. It might have been Noddy last week. They managed to chuck a wheel back on the front of the car and he got back out there. So it might not take that long for them to do it.
I'll keep an eye on it.
And just looking at Gary's car as well, he's been sitting in the pits for over 2 minutes as well. So he's got quite a bit of damage to repair on that car. So just unfortunate. No one really you can't really blame every driver in that case, in that incident.
Damage on Gary's car's down the left side, so it's definitely not a.
Yeah, the 53 is clawing his way back up, that's right. Lucky's saying 53 is looking at the top 20. Yep, here's only one lap down, so... And he's only 7.5 seconds off the next car in front, and so he's trying to chase them down, so he might be able to make up a few more spots for the end of the night. Let's go back to the front and have a look here, because we can see that we've got Aiden Russell in the 28 car in first spot, and Andrew Dyson in second spot there, and Barry Neal in third.
Luke was on a two-stop, wasn't he? He's done the two-stop strategy.
No, just the one stop for lecture here.
Oh.
Yeah. Basically, at the moment, the top 6 are all on one stop. So
Stop,
down to
yeah.
Darren Lobb and Neil Pearson in 7th is the first of the two stoppers. And he's 11 seconds off, and we've still got 22 laps, so it's going to be close. Yeah, almost a second a lap faster, Neil is, than the leader that lap around. Edward, I'm going to assume that Abigail is wanting to know about Edward when he last got tyres. He's on 32 lap tyres. So he has pitted twice, but yeah, this last set of tyres is 32 laps ago. As we see, Burke has made a pass on Pearson there for 7th spot. So we've got 20 laps to go. Burke is 10 seconds off. And closing at a rate of almost a second a lap at the moment. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be close. Of course, it's one thing to catch the car, but it's another thing to pass.
Yeah, that's right. And those guys will be knowing how to keep those cars nice and wide.
And that's the right time of the race to do that as well, yeah. So, been caution-free so far. 9 lead changes. I personally like all these kind of races because with all the different strategies and stuff that go on. So
yeah, it's a lot better than like a one-lane track. There's been 2 lanes most of the night, so guys have been able to run the high line or the low line, and some of the guys have just got a little bit too low.
As you see, Burke is now in the top 5. He passes Martin, 5th spot there. So Burke is lapping 0.8 of a second faster than the leader, Aiden Russell. Now the question is whether those guys are having to do a bit of fuel saving as well. Burke can just go hell for leather because he will have plenty of fuel to get to the end.
I say those guys at the front there that have done the one stop, they'd have to be trying to save a little bit to make sure in case there's overtime.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, if I was certainly them, I would have saved a little bit extra early, just so that you can sort of have that buffer to go a little bit harder in the last 10 laps if you need to.
Yeah, and that's the advantage of the two stop. You know, they've they'll have plenty of fuel. The tyres are fresher. So if we should happen to have a caution in those last 5 laps, they can actually stay out there. But yeah, it's going to be one of those things. Do you come in for tyres? And yeah.
Yeah, I think if you were to see a caution now, I think you would see everybody pit. The drop off is just too huge. But then again, you know, if you are down to 1 or 2 laps, if it's a green white checkered caution, then yeah, I don't know. Glad I don't have to make that decision.
I think there'd be a few guys that may come in and take just the outsides, the working side of the car.
Oh, yep. Jaden Russell had a bit of a internet lag spike there. He's back now. So that's Andrew Dyson sitting there in second. He's up 19 spots. Oh, as Russell's lagging out there again. So in that situation, Dyson's probably sort of not going to get too close to the back of Russell's car with that dropping out going on there. Just simply because when he drops out, you don't know where he is.
There's been people come back on and been inside the other car.
Yeah. Yeah, still a good battle there. Let's sort of quickly jump through the field. No, we'll stay on the lead here because this is a good battle for the lead. I just think that Dyson is holding back a little bit just because he is worried about Russell's internet connection dropping in and out there. So it's very easily for Russell to blink out, what we call, and then you don't know where he is, and then he comes back and your car's in the back of his, and it wrecks you both. So, but Russell's connection looks to have stabilised quite a bit now, so I think Dyson will be prepared to race him a bit closer and get on the back there. And just checking back.
Make a move.
Yeah, he's gotten to the inside of him now.
Yep.
I think they're coming up on a bit of lap traffic, but I think the 53 might move out of the way. Once they get close enough, it'll move out of the way, I'm sure.
Oh, a little bit of a wobble.
And that's it. That's it. You're going low on old tyres, and it's hard to get the power down to get the run out of the corner on them to get it done. As you see, the 53s stay up high and out of the way there. That's well done. It's good side-by-side action for the lead here. I'll keep the top 15 information up on the left-hand side there, so we can just sort of keep an eye on Burke and how he's progressing towards, because he is making up a lot of time at the moment. 2.7.
Oh!
Russell's.
We may see a caution here.
We may see one.
Yes, caution.
Caution's out. Caution's out. So, unlucky there. It snapped loose off the corner there and wasn't able to catch it.
So as I said, Norman Clark is the first car the lap down.
So here we see here. I think we're just going to see that 28 car wiggle off the corner and just get a bit loose, and then he just hasn't been able to catch it and save it. So yeah, did it all on his own, trying to catch it, and he might have just hit a bump and it's fired him into the wall there. And I've done this before. It's so frustrating. You'll go down the whole back straight of this track trying to catch the car and you can't catch it, and it just fishtails and gets worse, and you end up in the wall like this. And it's broken the right front suspension there, of course, with the new damage model. Let's have one more look at this.
just keeping an eye on things here, and yeah, you were right, Matt. I think the whole field is just about coming for tyres.
Yeah, I would. It's too much of a big difference to not do it.
I can tell you the top 17, yep, everyone down to Ed is in pit lane. So
Yeah.
20 cars in pit lane.
So now it becomes a short lap run. Just watching the guys get off pit road there. All pretty even in terms of pit stops. All 4 tyre pit stops by the looks of it. No one prepared to take left side only by the looks of it. Yeah, they're all sort of around the same time. So I'm pretty sure that they've all sort of taken 4 tyres. A little splash of fuel. So now it's just it's going to be what, about a 5 lap sprint to the end.
Yeah, by the time we get this all sorted out again, yeah, it'll be about 5 laps.
Yeah, so so those guys that were really fast straight away at the start of the race, Barry Neal, Wayne Burke, Neil Pearson, yeah, those are the guys I'm going to watch. And then obviously Andrew Dyson has worked his way up, up 20 spots at the moment to first place. So he's going to be one to watch as well. So it's going to be interesting. It may not be the last caution we see tonight.
Nah.
Because, just remembering back how it was in the first sort of 10, 20, 30 laps, so we were side by side, 3-4 car rows deep, so this restart is going to be pretty hectic.
Now, those 3 guys at the front there, the back on the lead lap, they were lap cars, so they probably get a wave around.
Yeah, that's right. So I think they're opting to take a wave round rather than pit and get a lap back, which is a pretty good idea because if you're not having that great of a run, at least it gets you back on the lead lap. And as I say, we may not have seen the last caution. So they can get back around. They might have time to get in and get tyres. They may not. But then we might get another caution straight away, which means they can get tyres, and then they're a real good chance. And the cars in front of them wreck out, and then all of a sudden you've gone from, a lap down and 18th spot to, possibly outside of the top 10 or in the top 10. So it's a good move.
I've just been given a wave around. What I'll do is jump on board on my view with Brad and see if they are duck into the pits and get tyres.
I don't think they're going to have enough time. Looks like they're forming up. I don't think they've got too much to gain at this stage from doing it. I think, they're going to go round.
Yep. So they've continued on.
So basically, they'll sort of finish out the race there, and if there's another caution, then they can get tyres, and if there's a caution up in front, it'll take out a whole bunch of cars, and they can make up easy positions.
Lights are off on the pace car.
Andrew Dyson's going to take us off. Yep, just double checking that. Yep. So Dyson's going to take us off the start here.
Now, the interesting thing is that you've got 2 teammates there. Who's going to play for who?
Yeah, they're in different lanes at the moment. So as Dyson's gone, restart zone.
Got a great jump.
Got a very good jump. Oh, look at them go.
3 wide further back.
Yeah. Oh, she's pretty hectic. Let's see if we can jump up here. Dyson's cleared out. Oh, there's that. One car in the wall, bounced off the wall there, but he's still good. Barry's got in second by himself, trying to chase Andrew Dyson down now. And we've got Trahir and Pearson going side by side still.
Now, my money, I would have to be on Barry here because he's very quick over short distances. Oh, we're
We're
going to
gonna
go
have
caution.
we're gonna have another caution here, I think. Yep, there we go. And that will most likely set up a green-white checker, I believe.
Yes, definitely will.
Let's see if we can jump back and unpack what's happened there. It's just this time of race, they're just driving pretty hard. Let's try and slow it down a little bit here. Trying to get on the right car. Just put the camera view here. So it's all pretty squeezed out. Oh, looks like the 86 came up a little bit and then just got the right rear quarter of the 43.
That's unfortunate for Luke because he's had a great run
Yeah,
all
he
night.
was. So if we just
I
see
mean,
here, you can see that, yeah, if we'll go back onto the other view. Slow it down and you can see the 86 cars out there, and I think he's got a bit of the wall, which has then made him bounce back
it looks
down.
like
That could be those bumps that
yeah.
it could be those, as I say, those bumps there, they can do that. They can just fire across into other cars like that. And unfortunately, he's got the right rear quarter of the 43.
All right, we might see if we can get a word with one of our drivers, Matt.
Yep. Go for it.
Yeah, copy Aiden.
Yeah, got a copy.
Hey, mate, how you going? Good night tonight so far, in a fairly good position for the overtime.
Yeah, going all right, mate. Trundling around. Came in with no expectations, and tell you what, the heat's up now, though.
Yeah, it definitely is, mate. Yeah, as I said, you've just played the nice little waiting game, and you found yourself in the top 10. So what are we looking for, mate? A good outside run, or
Well, mate, you say I played a good waiting game. It wasn't a waiting game. It was all I had, to be honest. So I don't really know what's going on here. I know the outside line will be quicker, but yeah, I don't know. It's all about how you get off the turn. It's very easy to light the tyres up, as you've probably seen all night. So yeah, where guys are going to be stronger is going to be interesting here. But I don't know. Hopefully, just a nice, solid, clean finish should be good. Whether that's inside the top 10, that'll be good. If we get the W, that'd be good. But I don't see that happening.
mate, you never know. As I said, you're in the right position. You're in that top 10. All it's going to take is one of those guys in front of you to touch, and yeah, it could be all over Red Rover for the guys in front of you.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, Mark, we pretty much nearly went caution-free all night. We wouldn't want to see the race end for those guys at the front. They've raced well all night as well. So just want to see it go green to the end now on this green-white checker, and no wrecks, and fight it off and move on to next week.
Yeah. All right, mate. Thanks very much for your time. I'll drop you back down in your channel, and you have a good good overtime run.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Have a good call, guys. I look forward to watching it back. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Aiden.
Bye.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Aiden Schultz, the pilot of number 52. I still reckon he'll go for the win from 7th.
Just having a look here at how they all line up. Yeah, that inside line is going to be super strong because it's all 3 teammates lined up. So we're going to have Dyson, Pearson, and Darren Lobb all lined up behind each other, first, third, and fifth. And then on the outside, we're going to have Barry Neal on the 22, Jason Martin on the 21, and Josh Micklemore. So 2 teammates there, but that's 4th and 5th, 4th and 6th.
4th and 6th, yeah.
Yeah, so.
And really, do the Chevs want to push a Toyota to a win?
Oh, I don't think it really matters manufacturers in this level of racing. I'd just be hoping that he can get Barry can get a good restart and really sort of go for it.
Yeah. But as you said, Matt, those three teammates on that inside line, they're going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very tough to beat them. So do we lights out on the pace car? So we'll go back to green. We'll have 2 laps to go. And it's like pace car peels off. We'll come up into the Geico restart zone. And away they go. Yeah.
Oh, Barry!
Barry's spun the tyres. That might be the end of the race. We'll see.
No, unfortunately for Barry, you could see that on the start.
Yeah, we had a good view of the blimp view of that. So it's just Dyson and Pearson racing there, although Jason Martin is coming. Good fast corner for Jason there. Josh McMore in the 31 there car as well, but I don't think they're going to have enough time. Yeah, we're onto our final lap here now.
The next flag will be the checker.
Some good action going on in the background there as well, side by side. But I think up the front here, I think it's going to be Dyson's going to grab that win. Crosses the checkered line now, checkered flag line. It's going to be Dyson, Pearson, Martin, and Micklemore. Cars all fanning out still. There's Barry coming to the line now. So I'll just see if I can jump back and have a quick little look and see what happened there with Barry now. Just on that restart. There we go. So this is the restart here. He's just spun the tyres or something, and then unfortunately it's turned him, and he may have missed a gear shift, or I'm not sure.
No, just jumped down and had a quick word while you were looking at that. He definitely said it was a wheel spin, mate.
Unlucky. Let's just see Andrew Dyson there.
Oh, Jason would be happy with that. Well, it's 2 weeks in a row we get to have a chat with him. So his luck's definitely turned around.
Has indeed. So what we might do, we'll just give Andrew a bit of time while he's doing his great burnouts there. Looking pretty good. All right, let's run through the results. All right, so first place was Andrew Dyson, up 20 spots. Neil Pearson in second, Jason Martin third. Fourth was Josh Micklemore. Kai Turner, great run for him and coming home in 5th place there. Aiden Schultz, great run for him as well, 6th spot. Wayne Burke, 7th spot there. Daniel Hedgeshout in 8th. Maddie Raymond coming home in 9th. And Ruben Phelps in 10th. He'll be pretty happy with that. 11th spot was Christopher Finley, Norman Clark in 12th, Paul Jackson 13th, Luke Jahir in 14th, but unlucky, he was having a good run, so it's last caution. Brad Ellison 15th, Darren Lobb 16th, Barry Neal ended up 17th after that incident on the start of the last restart. Justin Witcher 18th, Edward Foster got a top 20 in the end in 19th spot, and Justin Cotchin in 20th. Jaden Russell coming home in 21st. Gary Wellman 22nd, Ryan Jones in 23rd, Dave Douglas 24th, Schullock 25th, Pritchard 26th, Hobson 27th, 28th was Tompkins, and Daltonax 29th, and Patton was 30th. Now, Hobson finishing 27th with Dyson coming first, that might be enough to see a change at the top of the leaderboard for season points too.
Yeah, definitely could be a move up there in the point, but also Ed finishing down there too. That may drop him down in the points. So yeah, it's going to be maybe a week of change for the championship, mate.
It may be, yeah, it may be. All right, I will have a little look and see. We've got Jason Martin there in the green room. Shall we look at pulling him up and you can interview him?
Yep, no worries.
Cool. I'll chuck Jason Martin in the chat now.
Hey, Jason, congratulations, mate. 2 weeks in a row in the booth. You got to be wrapped with that third position.
Yeah, cheers, mate. I wasn't expecting that. I was probably about a fifth place car or so for most of the night, so finally got a whole bunch of luck in this race, and yeah, stoked to get on the podium.
Yeah, mate. There was a few things there towards the end that you were lucky to avoid. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there were about 3 extremely close calls where I could have got wiped out, so that's real happy to finally have some luck going my way.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Last week we were talking about the lack of tyre wear. How did you find the tyre wear tonight on the oval?
My tyre wear was fine. For me, I think the biggest issue was the tyres were just getting way too hot. And then when they get that hot, it's just so hard to drive, like any slight movements of the wheel and it gets loose. So, yeah, even though my tyres were good, I just couldn't do anything because it was so slippery due to the tyre heat.
Yeah, it was a fairly warm day. I think we started out, the track temp started out at 48, and it finally dropped down to around 44. So that would have had a big influx on tyre temps and the heat in the tyres.
Yeah, sure did. And the setup was pretty tight on entry and mid-turn, so that also added to the heat. So it got pretty tricky after about 20, 30 laps. I'm surprised more people didn't wreck.
Yeah, we were talking that there was a few guys that must have been really struggling. Like Daiso started down in the down towards the back, but he's been able to drive through. There's a lot of guys there that struggled with the track tonight. But Atlanta's always been tricky. Where did you find it the hardest tonight? Like you got those bumps out of turn 4. Out of turn 2 as you go onto the back straight, and then turn 4 always seems to tighten up when you start to come through the tri-oval.
Yeah, for me, the biggest issue was the setup was so tight on entry and mid-turn that I couldn't do my favourite line real down low. So I just couldn't get low enough to miss the bumps, and I just couldn't run my normal line. So it was real uncomfortable all night for me. So I was just struggling around in fifth for most of the night.
Yeah, definitely. Mate, you were saying that you last week that you struggled with the car. It seems like you're finally starting to get the gift of the car, and as you said, some luck has started going your way. What's the plan for the next couple of weeks? Just try and stay the same, stay out of trouble.
Yeah, that's pretty much my goal every week at the moment. Just hang on and try and avoid trouble and hope to pick up some good results, and yeah, finally getting some luck. So looking a bit better now.
Yeah, definitely. All right, mate. Matt, you got anything to ask?
Yeah, looks like there's a little bit of chat on there that Andrew Dyson might have been running the wrong number tonight, so he might be looking at being DQ'd. So you might be finishing second.
Oh, okay, that sucks for him, but
Yeah.
another bit of luck for me tonight.
I tell you, it was a pretty close call with Neil early on there, where when Neil had that sort of half spin and caught it, and so you got through there pretty well.
That was a great save. I thought I was a goner then, and then a bit later towards the end of the race, I thought I was gone again, but managed to just avoid it.
That's a good job. It's a good job all around.
Yeah, good to finally get some luck.
Well, mate, I'll say the exact same thing to you this week as I did last week. Love to sponsors and supporters, mate.
Yeah, well done to Josh on fourth, or is it third now? Great result for him. And boys at Mitch Motorsports, Affinity Constructions Australia for sponsoring us, and Mad As Designs, and of course you guys for doing the broadcast. Thanks a lot for that. We all appreciate it.
No worries, mate. Well, hopefully we can talk to you again next week. I'm not sure where we are next week, to tell you the truth. New Hampshire, I think. So a different type of track, a little bit of a more of a flat circuit track for next
Yeah.
week.
Surely going to get plenty of yellows there.
Yeah, it's a tough track to master, that one.
Yep,
So
sure is.
yeah. All right, mate. Well, thanks very much and congratulations again. And hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
I hope so. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jason. Well, Matt, he said last week and he said it again this week. He's got a little bit more luck going his way. So we'll see what happens for him.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, there's a few close calls tonight, but yeah, great driving.
Yeah, definitely. All right, we'll pull up Neil and have a chat with him.
Yeah.
You there, Neil? No, he's not there at the moment.
Hello?
Hello,
There he
yeah,
is.
we got you.
Everything went quiet.
Congratulations, mate, on second place, or it's still to be played out from what we hear up here in the booth.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
provisional that you will be finishing first because, yeah, Andrew unfortunately is running 041 instead of 41.
I did tell him in practice. Yeah. No, that was a very interesting race, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Tyre, we're completely opposite to last week, mate.
Yeah, there was actually some, and because it looks like they've changed the balance of the car at season 3 to be more aero loose. So, and we're running, I'm pretty sure the same setup that we ran last time we were here, which was a little bit tighter. So it was a bit of a disaster, the setup, to be honest. Because I honestly believe we're going to get New Atlanta tomorrow night. I think they were just waiting for that.
Yeah, right. That's true. Just confirming. Provisional order will be Neil Pearson, the winner, Jason Martin second, and Josh Micklemore third. So we'll change that, mate. Congratulations on the race win.
Thanks very much.
So tyre wear, mate, tonight. Did you find it a lot harder on tyres tonight? With the heat that was in the track.
Yeah. The heat was pretty intense. Like I think it was up near 50-degree track temp or something, and yeah, it was just a bit frying them off. And with that more rearward balance, that right rear was really copying everything. So yeah, so early on I decided to two-stop just to see, because I didn't really have the pace of the front guys. So I just decided to try a two-stopper and see how it should go, and didn't really pay off because I just fried them off too much somehow. And yeah, so I got lucky to get this. Like everything just sort of felt my way with the cautions and Daiso being a numpty.
Yeah. Well, it looked like that second stint that you tried. You were 2 seconds a lap quicker than most of the front guys, but as you said, you seem to drop off a lot quicker in that second stint compared to your third stint. The third stint seemed to be a lot more stable.
Yeah, I just wasn't comfortable. I didn't have the pace. Like Wayne Burt came out and he was running half a second of that quicker instantly, and he was like a lap later than me, and I just couldn't get back there. I'm just a bit confused as to why that was the case. I didn't have any damage after the first stop, but at the second stop I did. But I don't think that played out too much in the end. But it is what it is.
Yeah, definitely. Matt, anything to add before we get Neil a shout out to his sponsors?
How was that half spin save pretty early on in the race? Where
I just was not expecting that looseness, like that's what I was saying. And I was just like, oh no, my race is done. Like, because I was like 45 degrees or something, just headed back towards the outside fence and everyone behind me. And I'm just like, this is not going to be good. And so I think I just locked it down. And thankfully, I able to, it just came back, and thankfully.
Yeah, I saw it. And I think I actually saw it live as well, and I was just like, oh, you're gone for all money. You're gonna go firing back up into that wall. But no, you did an amazing job to save the car from not only going into the traffic, which I think it was Jason beside you, and then or into the wall as well. And then I think you lost maybe like 4 spots from it, and just carried on your way.
Yeah, I was very lucky that everyone else was able to avoid me as well. So there was luck there, and yeah, and I was surprised the tires didn't seem as bad as they would have been. So it was a bit odd.
It was definitely very interesting to watch and good funny to watch.
Yeah, I actually forgot about it, like, because of the rest of the race. So yeah, I'm gonna go have a look at that and just see how bad it was.
It was pretty. Yeah, you did a pretty. You did a really amazing job to recover it because it looked like you were going for all money.
Yeah, I thought I was. Cheers.
Well, Neil, season's continuing on a nice track. But before we let you go, love to your sponsors and supporters.
Oh yeah, just first off, ANZCAR for the series. You guys for the broadcasts, and then just simrigs.com, Southwell Lifts and Hoists, Benmax Mechanical, Phoenix Smokers, NP Designs, and just the guys, for just having a really good race. Lobo got really unlucky there.
He did, yeah.
At that final restart. I think Barry was in first gear for some reason, and he just launched it. And yeah, fortunately, nothing Darren could do about that. So he was a bit disappointed because it was going off. We were at 1, 2, 3, so we were hoping we were able to time the start and just bang out a top 3, but wasn't to be.
Yeah, definitely. All right, mate. Well, congratulations on the race win. Although it is provisional at the moment, I'm quite sure we'll have confirmation before we go off air. And hopefully we'll talk to you again real soon up here in the booth.
Yeah, hopefully next week.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Well, congratulations and thanks for your time tonight.
Thanks, mate. You have a good night.
You too, mate. Thank you.
See ya.
Well, we might, while he's down there in the green, we might pull up Josh and get a quick word off him.
Yeah, go for it.
Hey, Josh, how you going, mate?
Hey, Matt, good.
So, mate, third place at the moment, provisional.
Yeah, that's what I've been told just a few seconds ago myself. I'm not sure what happened there, but I'll take it.
Well, by the look of it, Daiso forgot to change his paint from the Warriors paint to the ANZCAR paint, and ended up with running the wrong number.
Oh, you're kidding? Oh, that's unfortunate. Bloody hell.
No, it's unfortunate for him, but fortunate for you. It gives you the third place.
Yeah, we'll take that one. Didn't have the fastest car tonight. We're a top 10 car, but I don't know, this track, I haven't had much luck around here over the years. When we were here early in the year, ended up wrecking it and finished 25th. Fair few laps down. So, it's good to be on the podium here for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Couple of close calls there through the race for you.
Yeah, especially at the end there. Everyone getting the wheel spin off the start, which I thought they might have, but we'll take that one. But I had a few close calls. We're taking it pretty easy, to be honest, in that first run. A lot of 3-wide racing going on, which is pretty cool to see. But we'll just sort of take it easy and see where we end up. Fuel mileage was good tonight. Managed to get 66 odd laps on fuel, so able to do it in one stop, and it was good.
Yeah, you didn't think of just taking the right side tyres. Matt and I were talking about tyre wear, and I actually suggested that some of the guys may just take right side tyres. No one opted for that tonight.
Because we got to take the 20-gallon. Well, I've run American sort of setup, so I'm used to setting up the sprint cars and stuff. So I'm used to that sort of.
Yeah, you can talk to me in gallons and.
We had to put in 20 gallons to get to the end tonight anyway. So we just elected to take the 4 tyres, Didn't really want to take two. Probably just unbalance the car too much. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. New Hampshire next week. Different sort of track. What's the outlook for there? How do you like New Hampshire?
Bring it on. I love New Hampshire, mate.
Yeah, it's one of his favourite tracks.
Bring it on. Yeah, we'll run there every week. Doesn't bother me. Nah, it's a good track. Definitely a short track, bit of a driver's track as well. So love the short track stuff. Yeah, we'll be keen for that one. Hopefully have another good result next week. So yeah, definitely keen for that.
Yeah, definitely. All right, mate. Shout out to sponsors and supporters.
Yeah, just to boys, Mitch Motorsports for all the hard work they've been doing overall. The series has sort of done pretty well this week. Won 2 out of 3 races, so it's pretty good. Well done, Jace, getting out of all the crap tonight. And now, of course, our sponsors, Affinity Constructions Australia, Maddie Designs, ANZCAR, and you boys put on the stream.
Pleasure, mate. It's always good to jump in the booth and have a call with the ANZCAR boys. I'm enjoying the truck racing when I can get to it. So yeah, it's all good fun.
No worries. Keep it coming. It's good to watch back.
Yep. All right, mate. Thanks for your time tonight, and we'll let you go. And we'll see you. Hopefully, maybe talk to you again next week.
Yeah, hopefully. Cheers, guys.
All right, thank you. Well, Matt, I think we might see if we can grab a word from Mr. Foster. Since he's in the green room there, I'll just see if I can get him up here, eh?
To see what he did with his pit stop, yeah. Looks like Mark's jumped down into the green room to see if he's available.
Yeah.
There he is.
Hello, Mr. Foster. How are you tonight, mate?
Oh, look, mate, it's I've been happier after races, that's for sure. But I screwed up, and that's what you get.
All right. You know the question's coming. What happened in the pit stop?
Pit lane speeding penalty I got. This set, I'm sure most of the guys were there sort of whinging about the set as well. It's pretty horrible to drive, and the tyres really didn't hang on that well at all. And I just I'd done a couple of practice ones, like in practice, like green flag stops, but not with anything like that many laps on the tyres. So I had this in the back of my mind. I've sort of, put the brakes on early, but then I kind of locked them up because I had a car there in front of me. And yeah, that just locked up, didn't really slow the car down at all. It just killed me. So that was it. Caught the pit lane speeding penalty. I thought about possibly just turning everything off, taking a short penalty and coming back in later, but I figured that would probably cost me more time. So I just, sucked it up, took the tyres, took the 40-second hold, which dropped me a couple of laps down. And then, of course, all the other guys who were looking at 2 stops and so on, they all started to filter down and were just blowing past me like it was nothing. So I kind of got to the point that I'd be able to make the end of the race and came down again, which dropped me. I kind of got back to 1 lap down, and that put me back to 2. So anyway, continued on and just kind of hoped for that caution that we didn't really get until right at the end. And it's just that caution actually came out around about 10 seconds after I'd been put back to 2 laps down. So I could have got my lap back if that caution had come 10 seconds earlier, but then, that's the way it is. And, I guess the lesson is don't screw up and you won't find yourselves in these situations. So that's on me.
Yeah, we wondered if you ended up with a penalty, and Matt did pick it. He said you must have got a penalty with sitting so long. Couple of close calls there though for some of the boys tonight, and some great saves by a few of the drivers too.
Yeah, there was. I mean, I saw quite a few guys, especially the guys who were trying to run the bottom line. I've got no idea how Barry Neal was making the bottom line work, because if I spent any length of time down there at all, it just became impossible. It'd overheat the rears. It just became impossible to get off the corner. And, looked like Neil Pearson found the same thing. Like, he had a really big tank slapper in front of us and managed to catch it. And there are a few other guys that were getting, like, real sideways coming off the turn. But I mean, the start of the race was a bit weird. It was a bit like I know they're sort of changing the configuration of this track to race more like a super speedway, but we were kind of stuck in 2 lanes, and it was a little bit like a super speedway race there at the start, and then it all sort of started to thin out. But yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get to be part of the fight at the end, and that's the way it goes.
Yeah, look, there was, you were saying 2 lanes for a little while there. There was some boys there in the early section that were 3, and they got through it all right. It was quite a different track to what we raced on the other night. So yeah, big difference in the heat and tire wear. Where'd you find the tire wear tonight? Like, I know you've said that the rights were taking a beating, but was it just because of the heat, or was it actually wear?
Look, I think that I was actually having a bit of a chat with Neil Pearson just before, and he was saying that a little while ago they moved the aero balance on these cars in one of the iRacing updates, and I think because they're fairly close to releasing the new configuration of Atlanta, they never updated the setup. So the setup was pretty horrible. Like, it was horrible turning in, it was horrible coming out, and really it was the strangest thing because it would push on entry and it would almost want to snap loose on exit, and it was just awful everywhere. So I mean, sometimes I sort of felt like I was killing the right front, and other times I felt like I was killing the rears. But when you're losing grip at the front and the rear, how do you drive to compensate for that? I don't know. So
Yeah.
both ends of the car were going away at different parts of the corners, and everyone was just sort of doing their best. And yeah, it was hard, like as you saw. But like you tend to find that these races get these long green flag runs when the car's really tricky, because I don't know if it just makes everyone sort of focus or what, but yeah, you tend to get these long green flag runs. And after we got that caution, I'm kind of like, we're probably going to have another one here, because there were guys that had to stay out to get their lap back and all the rest of this. So yeah, it was rough.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you, new paint scheme?
Yeah, it was just for a bit of fun. Yeah.
Bit of fun. Love the verse on the front, mate.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to run that again though, because tonight was horrible. So, but then again, Road Atlanta was pretty horrible too, and that, yeah, the only common factor there is the driver. It's not the paint job's fault. So I might break it out again at some point. But no, that was just something a little bit different. I like messing around with paint schemes and stuff like that. So, fortunately, NASCAR is one of those sports where you'll see cars running different schemes throughout the year. So it gives me a chance to have a play around, a bit of fun.
Yeah, definitely. All right, mate. Time to swap hats. We've heard it on the chat. Daiso DQ'd.
Yeah, unfortunately for him.
So what's the actual rule for you guys with the numbers that
you've got to run your assigned number.
Yeah.
So he had the 041 on tonight, so that's not the number he's assigned with. So yeah, it's a shame, but it's to help you guys in the broadcast. So to make everybody watching and
Matt's actually
you guys
got it
be
up.
able to tell sort of what's going on and who's who, and match the numbers up with what's up the top of the screen with what you see on the cars. So
yeah, Matt's actually got it up on screen now, and you can see that it's actually his Weekend Warriors paint.
Yeah,
so unfortunate. Yeah, unfortunately,
it's a shame. We never like to see it, because Dyson deserved the win. He outdrove everybody and he deserved to win that race. But yeah, if you DQ a guy who's finishing 20th for it, you've also got to apply those same rules to the guys who run up front. So yeah, unfortunately, that's the way it goes.
Look, no one can say that that anyone pays favouritism to anyone in this league. It's in black and white, and the rule's the rule.
Yeah, that's it. If that's something that we brought in, for the broadcast and so on. So yeah, that's why it's there.
Yeah, it's all right. I can't remember who's in what car most of the time.
So you need those numbers. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, that's fair enough. All right, mate. Well, New Hampshire, was it next week?
Yeah, New Hampshire. So normally get a few wrecks there, as we saw last night in the Thunder Series. There was a little bit of that, and they tend to always sort of happen with guys getting underneath guys and the guys on the outside trying to straight line the exits and stuff like that is usually, just guys not necessarily giving each other enough room. It tends to bring about the wrecks there. So it can be a bit of a messy race, but we'll see how it works with these new cars. We don't know yet. We've never been there in the next gen. So we'll see how they race around there. It could be great. It's a track that I really enjoy. I'm not that fast there, but I tend to really enjoy it. And I guess we'll just have to see how it shakes out.
Yeah, definitely. All right, mate. Well, thanks for your time tonight. Thanks for the clarification on the ruling with Mr. Dyson. Again, unfortunate for him, but the rule is the rule, and we've all got to race to the rules. Thanks very much for your time, mate, and hopefully we can talk to you in a bit better position next week.
Yeah, If I can get the opposition number into the single digits, I'll be happy with that next week. I think this has been a shocker.
Yeah, definitely. Just remember, don't run into the wall and your pit lane speed. All right?
Yeah, all right, no worries. I actually had someone say before in the green room that I could potentially blame the draft of the car that was in front of me for pit lane speeding. So I might have to go with that, even though we're only doing 90 k's an hour. But I might blame the draft.
No, that's fair enough. Yeah, that's fair. All right, mate. Thanks very much for your time, and hopefully we can talk to you next week.
Yeah, all right. Sounds good, mate. See ya.
I'll see ya. Well, Matt, there you have it. The rule. That's black and white. Wrong racing number. DQ.
Yeah, indeed, and not just a wrong number if no numbers showing as well. So it's just something you have to be really careful of the caution. The custom paints is the word I'm looking for. And yeah, just you're looking up and you see a car 41, for example, and the scoring and the timing and stuff, but you're seeing a car 041 on the track. So yeah, it's just about that.
Yeah.
Keeping
Well,
that
I know that we're going to try. Us the Warriors are going to try and match numbers up between the two leagues. So hopefully that'll put an end to that. So even if they've got the wrong paint on for the wrong league, they still have the same number where we can. So that may help a few guys, because I know that I've done it myself a few times
yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and there's nothing worse than getting a great result and finding out at the end of it that you've lost that result.
Yeah, and it is a real shame because he did such a great job coming from 21st up to first, 20 spots gained, biggest gainer of the night in terms of position, and was, didn't luck into it. He was genuinely quick. And unfortunately, he's going to not be credited with the win just for a little technical mistake on this paint, which, yeah, it's unfortunate, but that's how it is. That's the rules. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right, mate. Well, we're back next week, New Hampshire, round 19.
That's right. Yep.
As Ed said, it's a different type of track, and as most of the guys said tonight, different type of track. Short track. They love some short track racing. So everyone, make sure you tune in to see what happens next week. Matt, thanks for pushing the buttons tonight and jumping in and giving me a break. To everyone out there that's tuned in, thanks very much. Make sure you come back next week. Matt, any closing words?
No, I think you summed it up pretty well. Thank you, Mark, for jumping in and helping out again. Yeah, it's great.
Let's hope that the voice of NASCAR's back very soon. I actually haven't spoken to him this week, so I don't know where he's at.
Yeah, neither. I need to catch up and see him. Let's see if hopefully he'll be right for the chase. Because obviously, I'm just looking at my graphic that I've put up. It actually says race 20 of 36 coming up. It's not. It's race 19 of 36. I've made a mistake there. But yeah, so we'll be about 7 races away from the chase, which starts. So 26 races, and then we go into a 10 race chase for the last 10 races. So of the season to race 36. So hopefully Carl's back and rearing to go for that.
Yeah, definitely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, boys and girls. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your interaction on the chat there in the broadcast. Be sure to come back next week and see what happens at New Hampshire. So from me and Matt, thanks very much, and we'll catch you next week.